Hi guys, welcome to my live video today. Today we'll be looking at a wonderful topic in maths. We'll be looking at differentiation, okay? We'll be looking at differentiation. Okay? We'll be looking at how to differentiate a function. The easiest way and the best approach to differentiate a function, the nice shortcut to use while differentiating a function. Okay, it is very, very easy if you pay a good attention in the class. Okay, so we are going to look at it and see how we can differentiate a function without making any mistake. Okay, to differentiate a function is very easy. It's just for us to master the steps and know how we do simultaneous equation. So it's very easy. Let's look at how to do differentiation, please. Sorry, I made a mistake. So I'm on it now. Let's look at differentiating a function. To differentiate a function, let's say we have that y is defined to be x or ax to the power of n. Okay? Let's say that y is any given function like y is equals to ax to the power of n. To differentiate a function y is the function. To differentiate a function y, which is differentiating y with respect to x. Okay, we are differentiating the function y, and we are differentiating the function with respect to this. To differentiate it, all we need to do is to multiply the power of the x, which is the variable, to the constant. So when you multiply it, you have it as a power a n. Okay? Then you repeat the thing, x to the power of n, take away 1 from the power. So all you have to do to differentiate a function is simple. Multiply the power to the constant, then minus 1 from the power. That's the easiest way to differentiate a function. So guys, let's try to differentiate a function like, let's say we are given that y is equals to 3x, and we are finding the y dx. That is, we are trying to differentiate y with respect to x. Okay? To do that, this is very, very simple. First thing you have to do such differentiation is simple. You know that y is dy, differentiating y with respect to x is dy dx. So all we have to do is very simple. We have to multiply the power n. Here the power now is now 2. Okay, we'll multiply it to the constant. So what do we have? We have it as 2, which is the power, multiplied by 3x. Then we don't just leave it like that. We now do 2 minus 1. That's the power minus 1. Okay? That's actually how we differentiate a number, a variable. So what do you have? What is 2 times 3? Drop it in the comment section if you're following. What is 2 times 3? 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 Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. So we have it to be 6x. Then 2 minus 1 is what? What is 2 minus 1? What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is what? What is 2 minus 1? What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is just 1. So in algebra, we don't waste our time putting on 1. We leave it as what? 6x. So 6x is the derivative of y with respect to x. Let's try another problem together. Another one we have to look at is very, very simple. Okay? It's very, very simple. So let's give, for instance, we are given that a function y is equals to 7x power 9. Okay? We are trying to differentiate y with respect to what? X. So to do this differentiation, it is very, very simple. So far you understand the law in differentiating a function. I told you that whenever you are trying to differentiate a function y with respect to x, okay, where a can be an integer that mustn't be 0, and n can be positive or negative integers. Okay, so for us to differentiate this, we are trying to differentiate 7x power 9. For you to differentiate functions like this, what do you have? That is, differentiating y with respect to x is very, very simple. Okay, please double tap the live, like the live, and share. Okay, it will go a long way in helping us to grow. So what do we have? We multiply the power the power 9, sorry. We multiply the power 9. This is the power 9 to what? To 7x. Then what do we do next? We have to do what? Minus 1 from the power. Okay? So let's do that now. If you are here, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from if you are here. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm teaching from Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria. So what do we have? What is 9 times 7? Please write in the comments. What do you think 9 times 7 is? Okay, thank you so much for saying good job, keep teaching. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate. Please support me by liking the live. You can share to friends too. Okay, so what is 9 times 7? What is 9 times 7? 9 times 7 is what? Let's know your answer in the comments. What is 9 times 7? Okay, watching from Malawi and teaching from Nigeria. What is 9 times 7? Malawi friend. What is 9 times 7? Mr. Paul Dean. What is 9 times 7? Basically, 9 times 7 is basically 63. So we have it as 63x. Then what is 9 minus 1? 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 9 minus 1 is basically what? 8. So differentiating this y with respect to x is what? 63x power 8. Okay? So that's it. Let's look at the next one. Let's say we are told that y is equals to 1 over x power 5. Okay? Here we are trying to find dy dx. We are trying to differentiate the function y with respect to x. Okay? To do that, that's very, very simple. Do you know the first thing you have to know is to check and understand some of the laws of logarithm that you know. Laws of exponents that you know, sorry. So first we have it as this. This is not it's not in this form, but we can actually put it like that. What do? We know one of the laws of exponents which says that a to the power of minus n is equal to 1 over a to the power of n. That is, when you have a negative power, you just have to do the reciprocal and remove the negative sign. That's all. So what do we do in this situation where we are trying to differentiate y with respect to x? It's very simple. So what do we have? Differentiating y with respect, okay, let's rewrite y first. So y can be written as, instead of having 1 over x power 1 over x power 7, it is very, very what? Simple. So we can easily have something like what? We can easily have it to be x power negative 5. Please double tap the live, like the live, please. Like the live. It will go a long way to help me. Let us know where you're watching from. So we are now having that we are trying to differentiate y when we have x power negative what? 5. Let's do the differentiation. So what do we do in differentiating y with respect to x? What we have to do is to multiply the power. The power is minus 5 here. The power is minus 5 here. So what do? You have minus 5. Then we have already existing variable x minus 5. minus 1. Remember, we always subtract 1 from the power. So if you have that, you can now see that the answer is minus 5x, because 5 minus 5 times this is minus this. Then minus 5 plus minus 1 is what? What is minus 5 minus 1? What is minus 5 minus 1? Please let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. What is minus 5 minus 1? What is minus 5 minus 1? Minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6. So you can leave it like this, or you can still reapply your laws of what? Exponents, which we can write in as minus 5 divided by, because of this negative power, we'll divide it by x power 6. So this is the derivative of the given function. So to differentiate y with respect to x is very, very simple. Okay? So this is when we are trying to differentiate y. Okay? So let's take for instance, we are told to differentiate that y is equals to 5x power 7 minus 2x x power 6. Okay? We are trying to find dy dx. This is differentiating the what? Difference. Okay? We are differentiating the difference. So to differentiate this function, it is very, very easy. Okay? We are given the function that y is defined to be 5x power 7 minus 2x power 6. To differentiate this function with respect to x, it is very easy. That is, you have to differentiate each term or each expression, each term in the expression. So what do? When we are trying to differentiate dy dx, so we apply the rule, we multiply 7. So we have 7 times, we have 5x power 7. When you get this, you subtract 1 from the power. Okay? If you subtract 1, you go to the next one, minus, you multiply 6 because 6 is the power, then times, you have 2x power 6 minus 1. Okay? So if you have this, you are getting closer to your answer. So guys, what is 7 times 5? What is 7 times 5? What is 7 times 5? Let's know in the comments, please. What is 7 times 5? What is 7 times 5? What is 7? Okay, 7 times 5 is 35, correct. So we have it as what? 35. Okay. Then x to the power of 7 minus 1 is what? What is 7 minus 1? 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 7 minus 1 is what? 6. Okay? If you get 6, correct, you're right. Then minus, what is 6 times 2? What is 6 times 2? Please, what is 6 times 2? What is 6 times 2? What is 6 times 2, guys? Okay, 6 times 2 is basically 12. So you have it as 12x. 6 minus 1 is what? What is correct? You guys are here. 6 minus 1 is what? 6 minus 1 is what? What's 6 minus 1? 6 minus 1 is 5. So this is the answer when you differentiate 5x power 7 minus 2x power 6. Very, very easy and what? Simple. Put a clapping emoji. Let's know where you're watching from. I'm teaching from Nigeria. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Let's know your country. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Where are you watching from? I'm streaming from Nigeria. Okay, let's say we have y is equals to, we have 3x power 5 power 7 plus 2x power 5. Okay? So what do we have to do when we are trying to differentiate this? We are trying to find the y dx. We are trying to differentiate y which is the main function with respect to what? X. Oh, watching from UK. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't understand the flag you put. Please write the name of the country, please. Okay, so this is how we do it. This will be equal to, remember I told you for you to differentiate a function with respect to x, it is very simple. You multiply the given power of the function to the function itself and minus 1 from the power. So what do I have to do? I multiply 7 to 3x 7, I have to minus 1. Okay? Then the next thing I do, I have to do plus, I multiply 5 to what? 2x. Then I minus 1 from 5. Okay? Good. You are doing well. You are doing well. I can see that. You are doing well. Okay, so if you have this, what do you have? 7 times 3 is what? What is 7 times 3? What is 7 times 3? Please, guys, please let's like the live. Please double tap and like the live. Please, I beg you. So what do you get? 7 times 3 is what? 7 times 3 is what? Let's know if you are watching. 7 times 3 is what? 7 times 3 is 21. 21x. So 7 minus 1 is what? What is 7 minus 1? What is 7 minus 1? Guys, what is 7 minus 1? 7 minus 1 is 6. So you have it as 6 plus, what is 5 times 2, please? If you are following, what is 5 times 2? What is 5 times 2? If you are following, what is 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. You have it as 10x. What is 5 minus 1? What is 5 minus 1? What is 5 minus 1? 5 minus 1 is 4. So to differentiate the function, so if you see that the derivative of the function 3x power 7 plus 2x power 5 is equal to 21x power 6 plus 10x power 4. If you are following and this is what you are getting, please clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Put the clapping emoji in the comment section if you are following and you understood what I did. Clap for yourself. If you have any problem and you do not understand some of the, and if you have any topic you want us to do in our next lives, drop it in the comments. Let's do that together. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's look at y is equals to 5x power 7 minus 2x minus 2. Okay, let's look at this. This one is a bit tricky, but we're gonna do it right away. Okay, we're gonna do it. You don't need to ask us 3 times 5. Okay, sorry. I just have to ask you all those questions to know who and who that are following. Okay, as you know it, most people don't know it, or some people don't know it. Okay, so and it also allows you to engage well in the class. I don't want to be the only person speaking. So here you have to differentiate this. Be careful here so that you don't get it all wrong. Okay, so what do? You are given that y is 5x power 7 minus 2x negative 2. If you are not careful here, you're going to make mistake. Thank you for being the first person. Calculus when it is next live. Okay, thank you. We are still in the introduction to differentiation. So we multiply the power to the variable, right? So we have 5 times 7, x to the power of 7 minus 1. Once you multiply, you subtract the power. Then minus, be careful here. You have it as this power 2 minus 2 times 2x minus 2 minus 1. You see that now? If you are not careful here, most students do get it very wrong. Okay, so what is 5 times 7, please? Drop in the comment section. What is 5 times 7? Drop in the comment section. What is 5 times 7 if you're following? Please, let's like the live, please. If you're following, what is 5 times 7? What is 5 times 7? 5 times 7 is 35. So you have it as 35x. 7 minus 1 is what? What is 7 minus 1? What is 7 minus 1? correct. Thank you for writing the answer. What is 7 minus 1, guys? If you are following, 7 minus 1 is 6. So you write 6. Then if you look at here, for you not to make mistake, you should think well and look at it. We have minus 2 times 2. So minus first is giving us a plus. So put a plus. You are guaranteed, your safety is guaranteed. So the next thing you do is 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2 if you are following? What is 2 times 2 if you are following? What is 2 times 2? What is 2 times 2 if you are following? 2 times 2 is 4. So you have it as what? 4 x to the power of. If you are not careful, you might make mistake. Let's know who understands integers very well. What is minus 2? Not just 2. Minus 2 minus 1. What is minus 2 minus 1? What is minus 2 minus 1 if you're following? What is minus 2 minus 1? Let me know the gurus here. What is minus 2 minus 1? Minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. If you want to tell your teacher that you understand this very well, you don't need to keep your answer like this. Just do it like a genius. You just tell him that the answer is 35 x power 6 plus 4 over x power 3. Give him like this. He will not bad it because this is just the negative. Do you know the reason why it becomes x power 3 becomes the denominator? Let's know who understand the rules. Do you know the reason why x becomes the denominator when we have it here multiplying to? Do you know the reason? If you ever know the reason, you are actually above it. You are the climax, you know. If you know the reason why I did this to this, if you know the reason, let's know in the comments. Let's know the gurus here. Let's know the gurus here that understand it very well. It's very simple. Okay. You want me to tell you? Okay, I know. If I tell you now, you know it very well. The reason why I took it like this is that from exponents, we have that when we have a negative power, we just have it as 1 over a power n. So this is gotten from an indices, the negative exponent point. Okay, that's the only reason why it became like that. Let's look at the next one. So buckle up, boys. Buckle up, buckle up. Let's go to the next one. So we've actually solved the initial preambles or the basic ones. So let's look at when we try to do chain rule, when we try to solve problems in chain rule. For instance, if I give you something like x plus 3 raised to power 2 for you to differentiate. Usually, I know for you to be in this class up till now, you are good in algebra. I know that you just have to open the bracket x plus 3 because of this square. But do you know one thing I observe? Most of them will just put the square here. So far, they are showing no. It means you have to multiply the bracket by itself. Okay? So if you distribute x times x, x squared, what is x times 3? 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 X times 3 is 3x. What is 3 times x? What is 3 times x? Is what? 3x. What is 3 times 3? It is what? 9. So you can tell me that the function, you wrote it to be x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay? Then since you are trying to differentiate this function with respect to x, now you can now simply apply the rule. Okay? If you apply the rule, you get it very well. So if you are differentiating the function, okay, you now have to multiply 2 to x, 2 minus 1, then plus, the power here is just like 1. You know, when we have a power of 1, we don't multiply. So you have it as 6x, okay, 1 minus 1, then plus. Please, do you know if I'm differentiating 9, I can't see the variable. So what do I do? If I'm differentiating 9, I didn't see the variable. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do when I'm trying to differentiate a constant? If you are trying to differentiate a constant, what are you going to do? In the calculus, in differential calculus, whenever you are differentiating any constant, the answer is 0. 0. So Ronaldo fans are here, I know. So what do you have? You have it as 2 times x is 2x. What is 2 minus 1? What is 2 minus 1? What is 2? Good, you are good. You said 0. What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 1, so no need of writing it. Plus, differentiating this, 6x will give you 6. So this is the answer. You tell me that. But what if I told you to differentiate y to the y is equals to 3x plus 3x squared plus 5 with power 6. You cannot differentiate it using the initial method. You cannot. You cannot use the method to differentiate it, because the reason why I said that you cannot use that method to do that. Hello, are you here? Hello, are you here? So here, it is very, very, okay, I'm here, I'm still here. So here, it is very, very easy to what? Do. Okay? It is very, very easy to do. Why? You apply the rule. To apply the rule, it is very, very simple. You just have to know how to do your thing. You are good. Thank you for saying the answer. My internet just hooked up and everybody went out. So what do? Differentiate. Now, you have to rewrite your y, which is the function, to suit the problem. Are you getting it? What do you call your y? You have to call your y all the terms inside the y function, the u, all the terms inside the y function. So what do I mean? I will now say that u is equals to 3x squared plus 5. That is my u. You must call the u anything. You can use z, sometimes you can use z. But all you have to do is to call the u, the what term inside the y function, so that you have the function to be that y is now. So instead of writing all these stories 2x squared plus 5, you just have to write what? U 6. That's where the chain comes in. Okay? Okay, yeah. My internet went off and I reconnected it. Thank you for staying tuned. Please do well to like the live. Okay, since we have this now, it is very simple. I now show you where the u is coming in now. So for you to differentiate this function, instead of using the whole Pascal triangle to arrive at the simple answer, you make use of the chain rule. Let's go with the first one. So the first statement says that whenever you are differentiating y with respect to x, all you need to do is very, very what? Simple. You have to differentiate u with respect to x. So what is the u function? This is our what? U function, right? So let's differentiate the u function with respect to x. So what do? Differentiating u with respect to x will now be, okay, we multiply the power of u, which is 2. So you multiply 2 to what? 3x power 2 minus 1, you minus 1. So when I'm differentiating a constant, what do I write? If I differentiate a constant 5, what do I write? When I differentiate the constant 5, what do I write? If I follow you, let's know. If I'm differentiating a constant 5, what do I write? If I'm differentiating a constant 5, what? 0. Thank you. You write 0. So what is that? Plus 0. So that's out. So the next thing you see, then if you are following, what is 2 times 3? What is 2 times 3 if you are following? What is 2 times 3? If you are following, what is 2 times 3? Everybody must be commenting. What is 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is what? 6. So you have it as 6x. Then 2 minus 1 is what? What is 2 minus 1? Let's make this room an interactive room. What is 2 minus 1? Let everybody contribute. What is 2 minus 1? What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. Correct. So no need of putting in the 1. So differentiating u with respect to x is done. Then the next one is to differentiate y with respect to u. So this is the y and u function. This is the one we differentiate. Okay? So for us to differentiate the function, my friend, what do you have? Differentiating y with respect to u is very simple. I'll just have to multiply the 6 to u what? Then I minus 1 from the power. So what do you have? 6 minus 1 is what? What is 6 minus 1? What is 6 minus 1? What is 6? If you are following, what is 6 minus 1? 5, correct. You have it as 5. So the answer is what? 6u power 5. That's the answer. Okay? But this is not the solution. Since we've gotten the u dx and the y du, so we have to plug it in the formula, because we have that differentiating y with respect to x is now equals to, we have to differentiate u with respect to x, and we've done that, and that gave us 6x. So we write our 6x. Then the next thing that follows is multiplication. Then we have to differentiate this. What do we get? We got what? 6u to the power of what? 5. So the next thing is to what? Simplify, right? The next thing is to simplify. The next thing is to simplify. So the next thing we do is 6x times 6. What is 6x times 6? What is 6x times 6? What is 6x times 6? If you're following. What is 6x times 6? What is 6x times 6? What is 6x times 6? Is 36, correct. You have it as what? 36x what? U to the power of 5. So to complete the differentiation, all you need to do is to plug in back the value of what? All you need to do is to plug in back the value of your what? U. Remember, we define U to be this. So differentiating the function will now be 36x into 3x squared plus 5 raised to power 5. That's it. You don't need the Pascal triangle to help you do this. Okay? So this is the easiest way to differentiate the function. Okay. So let's look at y is equals to 4x power 5 plus 9 then raised to power 8. Okay, let's look at this function. Let's try to differentiate the function with respect to what? X. Okay, so to differentiate it, it is very, very what? Simple. So to differentiate it, we know that dy dx differentiating with chain rule is equals to du dx times dy du. Okay, that's how we do that. So from here, what becomes our u? If you are following, what becomes our u? Okay, I should repeat the last step. Okay, hold on. Once you have, just stay tuned. Once you are finishing this, you see how the last step is. Okay? So what do we do? So what is our u? If you are following, what will be our u? If you are following, what will be our u in the question? If you are following, what will be our u in the question? What will be our u? Our u will be everything inside the what? Bracket. So we now have our u to be 4x power 5 plus 9. Okay? This will be our what? U. So if you have that, you can now see that our y will now be u to the power of 8. Okay? So the next thing we have to do is to differentiate the inside with respect to x and differentiate the whole term with respect to y. That's what we have to do. Okay? So to do that, it is very, very what? Simple. To do it, it is very, very simple. So what do we do? So to differentiate u with respect to x, we'll be getting what? 4 times 5. We have 5 times 4x power 5, take away 1. Okay, differentiating a constant 9, what do we get? If you differentiate the constant 9, what do we get? If you differentiate the constant 9, what do we get? We get a 0. Then, what do we have next? The next thing is what? Differentiating y with respect to u. So, if you differentiate y with respect to u, you use 8, multiply here. So, you have it as what? 8u to the power of 8, take away 1. Good. So, at the root, and here you have 5 times 4 is what? What is 5 times 4? 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 5 times 4. What is 5 times 4? 5 times 4. 20. Good. So here this one is 20x. Then 5 minus 1 is what? What is 5 minus 1? What is 5 minus 1? 5 minus 1 is 4. So this is this one. Then the next one is 8u. 8 minus 1 is what? What is 8 minus 1? What is 8 minus 1? What is 8 minus 1? 8 minus 1 is 7. Good. So we have it as what? 7. Okay. So that's it. Then the next, it will now be the next one is to put it in the formula. For you that told me that I should re-explain the last bit, this is where the last bit comes in. So now you have it as differentiating y with respect to x will now be equal to what? The first one is differentiating u with respect to x, and this is it. We got it to be 8u power 7, right? We got it to be 8u power 7, so we have 8u power 7 times. Then the next one we have is what? Differentiating y with respect to differentiating, oh, we just flipped it. So let me just put the next one, which is 20x power 4. Okay? So what do we have? We first of all, 8 times 20 is what? What is 8 times 20? What is 8 times 20? What is 8 times 20? If you are following, what is 8 times 20? Guys, what is 8 times 20? What is 8 times 20? 160, correct. So you have it as what? 160 x power 4, then u power 7. So the next thing we do is simple. We have to plug in back the value of our what? U. If you know the value of our u, let us know. If you know the value of our u, let us know. Okay, so our u is 160 x power 4 into u is now 4x power 5 plus 9 power 8. And that's the actual answer. Okay? That's the complete derivative of the given function. Okay? So question time. If you have any question, let us know. Let me know in the comments if you have any question. I want to go and eat. So do you have any question? Let us know. Let's attempt to questions. Let's attend to question. Let's attend to your question. Let us know your question. Let us know your question. If you have any question, drop it in the comments before we leave. Oh, not 8 but 7. Thank you. Yeah. I just, because I copied this here, I just added it. Thank you for the observation. Do you really have any question for me? Do you have any question for me before we end for the day? Do you have any question for me? Do you have any question for me? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any questions so far, please? Okay, thank you guys for joining today. I really appreciate your time and our time together, okay? We got to meet next time that is available for us. Thank you for tuning on. I really appreciate it. Okay?